Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Today I'm taking part in a craft organization challenge, and I will get back to some more details of about that in a minute. So here I am. I've got all these little bits and bobs just in all these containers, bags, and what I'm doing here is I'm getting them all in jelly jars. I'm separating them into jelly jars, into little compartment storage containers, and then I'm putting them all in this basket so that I don't just have a bunch just sitting on a shelf. I could just grab the basket, get out what I need, and put the basket right back. So I've got like beads, I've got little wood cutouts, I have buttons, I have chains, I have googly eyes, I have keychains, I have all different kinds of little bits and bobs. And then I've got these are all my beads, and I just getting them into this little container. And then I have the other bigger one that has a lot more beads in it, so that I can get my hands in there and move them around and find them. So once I get this done, then I'm going to move on to some other containers. That's the beads I'm moving. These are some containers with just stuff. This, I love deco mesh. I love to use it, rates, but I had like 5 different bags of it. So I thought, well, I'm going to gather them all together, and I'm going to put them together in this basket. Well, later on I find more, and so I started a second basket, but the second basket is actually the same size. One's packed full, one's hardly got any in it at all. So I'll just have more room for more deco mesh. But I'm just standing them all up, trying to group them into different, the colors together, and getting them all situated so that it's easier to tell how many I have of what color and whatnot. So I just finished that, and I put that on my shelf, and then I move on to these containers that's just got a lot of stuff in them, and I'm just I'm getting all this stuff out of this this bucket, because I'm trying to organize my vinyl for my Cricut. I kind of sort of did, and I kind of don't like it. So I don't really show the second way I do it, but I'm going to have a second part of the organization. And so at that point, I'm going to deal with some of the things I didn't deal with in this video, and that is the rest, my vinyl stuff, also my ribbon. They're just in bins, and I don't like it, but I don't have any wall space to put up, say, oh, I'm trying to think. So my ribbon, of course, I need to organize that. My Cricut vinyl, and then my paint. The way I have my chalk paint, I'm not happy with it, so that is something else that I'm going to be working on. See, I'm standing these all up in this basket. They don't really fit on the shelf. So this is, the host is Theresa from Theresa B DIY, and her co-host is Tami from Happiness Created. And they've challenged us to clean up our craft rooms. And since I just moved into a new craft room that I promptly messed up, I'm organizing it so I could bring the rest of my stuff upstairs. So here I am. You can see I am just putting all of these pieces in a bucket. Now, I hate that. I'm going to be making a binder with plastic sleeves, and I will put like black in one, white, different colors, so that they're flat and it's easier to find. I have a lot of black scraps, and because that's the color I use more than anything. And I forget to look through this, and so I just grab the roll. So I definitely need to have this available so that I can just grab it. And the same with my transfer tape, or I use contact paper. Same thing. I just need to organize. Now this is some more little junk. I won't say junk. I would say this is my collection of craft stuff, and it's just a bunch of different stuff that was in containers together. So I'm kind of sorting through them and putting them in more groupings. And if you're seeing spoons and forks, yes, you're seeing spoons and forks. I used to make wind chimes. I still love making wind chimes, but I would make them sometimes out of silverware. And it was a really cool sound. So here I am going through this other little stuff. There's beads, there's little wood things, there's stickers, there's fake hair, there's all kinds of little things. There I've also got a bunch of pots. I've been a crafter for as long as I can remember, and I've always collected anything that I thought that I could or would use for crafting. So this is that kind of stuff. And those are, I was trying to say ceramic pots. Now this is an area that I'm going to show you what I end up doing. Now I have florals in a basket and in a box, like an apple box. And then I have stuff underneath it, and I can't get to it. I can't see what I'm doing. Now this is some metal. I thought they had squares on them, but they just have straight lined wires, and that's okay because I can still use it. So I've got a cube, a wired cube shelf set there, and I'm just going to hook it with zip ties onto the end, and I'm going to stick all of my flowers into that. Of course, I'm going to be making something bigger, but right now this will do. It holds everything I have right now, and of course I'm going to build onto this so that I can have a lot more. It's a little bit harder when it's against the wall because then you don't have that back side to use. So I didn't worry too much about putting one of those grades. I only had 3 of them. I'm going to be purchasing some more so that I can make, I'm probably going to make a tower or a shelving that goes up against a wall, or I'm not sure, because I don't have a lot of wall space. My house is almost 140 years old, and it has plaster, and so it doesn't have sheetrock in most of the rooms, so it's hard to screw something to it. I was able to on my nail station. I made a fingernail polish rack that holds, I think it's got, well, each shelf has got about 30 to 40 bottles of nail polish, and it's probably got 13 to 14 shelves, so it's a lot of fingernail polish. So as you can see, I'm just making this into I put one out, one above, and then I'm going to put one on the one end that you can see by the window, and then I'm going to use that for all of my florals. So as I get this zip tied, it's pretty stable, hanging off the end like that, as long as there's plenty of stuff on the shelves, which there is. So I'm just cutting those zip ties, and then I'm going to start hooking all of the flowers right into that, and that will free up a lot of space. Now on those shelves there, I have all my scrapbooking supplies, and, well, no, I'll take that back. I have part of my scrapbooking supplies, paper craft supplies, card supplies, because I make a lot of cards, and I'm going to be moving that on the shelves on the other side. That's another area that I'm going to have to work on. So I'm going to move part of it because I love to crochet and I love to knit, and I looked for 4 days in my basement where everybody had moved all my stuff around, and I finally found my bins stuck underneath stuff that wasn't even mine, so I had no clue it was sitting there, but I found it. So I had a huge box, one big box, a small box, a huge bin, and another little box of my yarn, and all my knitting needles and the rest of my crochet hooks. And so I'm going to be putting all my yarn in those top cubicles. Now, like I said, I'm hoping that I can get it to where that whole thing is, I want that whole area there to be yarn, because I love yarn, and put that back side that my back's to be all paper craft, scrapbooking, whatnot. One shelf I end up doing in this one, and then I have a shelf where I have a TV and then a Blu-ray player, and I'm going to be moving that so that I can use that shelf for scrapbooking as well. And then I think I'm going to put the TV up on the next shelf, or I'm going to somehow rig it, because I like to watch YouTube or movies or shows when I'm crafting. So I like having that TV there. Now the Blu-ray player can definitely be moved, and that alone will free up a lot of space, but I just have to be careful what I put there so I can still see the TV. So it's a process. Like I said, there will be a second part of this video so that you can see all the other things that I end up doing. I'm going to be building a ribbon rack that I can just sit on the floor or up on a shelf. So, yeah, that's actually I'm going to probably make it where I can use it on shelves so they can sit together and I can have access to all my ribbons, because right now they're in baskets, bins, and I just have to dig through them. So that's not a good thing. So here I am finishing up. I tried to keep colors together, and it's pretty full. Like I said, I need bigger space, and so I will be working on that soon. As soon as I get some more grid squares, or yeah, I'll figure out something. So then, like I said, I am now just putting, going through, getting the last little bit of the florals up there. And then here's just some, I'm still using that basket up there, just the odds and ends. All right, now I'm taking everything out of those cubbies, and I'm putting some jars in a vinyl box, or a cubicle box, and I'm putting that down below. And then I'm clearing off the top, and I'm clearing off the cubes in that center piece, like I said, because I'm going to use that for all of my yarn. And then moving things over, like my Sizzix and all that's going to be over on this other side. And like I said, you can see the TV, and that is just, it's really full in that spot. So I'm going to figure this out, how to get it to where I can still see it and be able to use most of that shelf. Because right now I can't use it a lot, because if I put too much stuff in front of it, I can't see the screen. So that is something will be in part 2 that I will be working on. And that way I can bring the rest of my paper crafting supplies from my old craft room up to my new craft room. And on the subject of new craft room, I have a very long linear front room. I mean, it's like 14 feet wide and like 27 feet long or longer. And one side, you come through the door and you turn, the way you come in, you see the couches, the TV, the wood, fireplace, and all of that. And then you turn the other side, and the only thing I had over there Before was an old broken piano and my nail station and then console table. So I used those shelves and I built a wall. And I put, I can't even think what it's called. It's kind of like Luan on the back of them. And you can see that ugly color on the wall. I'm going to be painting that room light gray. Now this part of the room I may not do while my craft room's, I don't know if I'll do it, we'll see. Because that's a lot of taking stuff and moving stuff. These shelves are not easy to move. But you never know. I just might do it. But, so I put those walls up, the wall up, and that's where I have my nail station and my crafting. And I don't have a lot of floor space to walk around in, but I don't need it. It's actually, it's just not needed really to be in the room. As long as I can move around from place to place, I have a nail station. It's a table, and I use that to lay stuff out, to lay out my Cricut stuff, to get it ready to go in the machine. And then I have my actual craft station. Now here I am, I'm just going through all of this yarn and getting it all organized so that I can fit it all on those 3 top sections. Plus then I still have some space on top that I'm going to put my projects in. Some are in bags, some are in little cubicles, and they're going to be my projects. So I can just put them right there, go back and grab them. And here I found some baby blankets I'd made. I found some scarves that I made that I just need to put the tassels on and see if I can sell them. So yeah, here I am just moving along. I spent hours doing this, trying to get this all organized. And what I'm putting in that bin balls. So balls of yarn. When I come across a ball of yarn, I put it in there so they're not all rolling all over. So that's what is going into that bin. And don't forget, if you have never been to my channel, I am so glad you're here. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit it twice, and click on all, and you'll be notified every time, or you should be notified every time I upload. Sometimes it's kind of a hit and miss with YouTube, but a lot of times it does help. It does work. So, and then if you will give me a big old thumbs up, and hey, leave me a comment. I love reading them. But also, don't forget also to, I keep saying also, sorry. Don't forget to go down to the description box. Down there, it's going to have the playlist link. It's going to have Teresa's channel link and Tami's channel link, as well as a lot of really cool information. I have a new channel. Well, I have another channel. It's a smaller channel that's all things Connie, and it's just all the things that is not the things I do on this channel, which this video kind of should have been on that one, and I might release it on that one as well, just so that it's on both channels, just because I'm actually not crafting on this one, but because it's all my craft stuff, that's why I put it on this channel. So, yeah, so this playlist, I've seen some of the pictures of the organization that people is doing. It's amazing. Some people have built-ins. I do not. I've had a craft room for years, and I've moved all over the country, and for me it's easier to have these metal shelves because I can take them down, box up everything, take them down, and take them wherever I'm going, and then build them back together and put all my stuff back on them. And that has been the best thing for me to do. But I don't show in this video my my organization for my nail table, even though it's in there. I told you before I had the nail polish shelf. I also have another shelf that has all or a bunch of my acrylic paint. See, I use my acrylic paint in nail art as well as in crafts. So now that they're in the same room, if I don't have one over by my craft station, I can go there and get it, or vice versa. And that way it's only a few steps. So that works a lot better. But I still have half-gallon containers of acrylic paint down in my other craft room. So I'll need to find a spot and bring those up so that I can use them when I start running out of those colors, because I pour them in smaller containers. So like I said, here I am just going through this stuff. That's kind of what organizing something is. It's going through your stuff and then organizing it. So I'm just, like I said, I'm going through all these bags, pulling out all this stuff. It's just something that we all needed to do. And I enjoyed going through the process because I found stuff I haven't seen in a long time. Because we've only lived in this house for 2.5 years, and there was just some boxes I hadn't got to yet. So that was good to find that stuff. Alright, I'm going to let you watch this for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, here I am finishing up this, and then I have a bunch of stuff sitting on my nail station. You can see that's my nail station. You can see the stuff behind me is a lot of it. And here I am just going through all this yarn, little pieces of yarn, odds and ends, and I'm rolling the yarn up so that I can put it in the bin. And I'm just organizing these last little bits and stuff from my craft room. And you can see I'm dealing with a huge green mess of yarn. It was so knotted up, but it was baby yarn and it was super soft, and I couldn't pull hard on it, but I got it all done. I ended up with a huge ball of yarn. And I also went through my patterns. I save when I get a skein of yarn, and the wrapper, I'm going through them right now, the wrapper has a pattern on it. If it's something I like, I grab it. Well, I had grabbed so many that I had like triple the same ones and quadruple. So I was going through them and getting those thrown away and just keeping one of each of them. And I have that bag. That's where I keep my my patterns and stuff. And this is not all my patterns. This is just the ones that I had been carrying around, that I've been making stuff with. And a lot of times I make my own patterns. I don't even look at a pattern Yeah, so here I am. I'm just cleaning this last little bit. I'm sweeping up and organizing the last little bit of this that I'm going to do on this video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you enjoy all the others. Like I said, I'm just trying to get this all done. On all, yeah. And like you can see, I'm not there yet, but I will have a part 2. Here I am. That's when I just put the other deco mesh in there. I found another bag. And yeah, so I hope you guys really like this. And I hope to see you on the next one. Okay, I'm just finishing up sweeping, and then this is what it looks like from this side, and here is just all the areas that I worked on today, so you can see all my yarn in there. And then, yep, there's another shot of it right there. And then this is where I put my Sizzix and some of my scrapbooking paper stuff. And this is another shot. This is my nail station. So I did have a picture. I wasn't sure if I'd taken one. This is where I have my chalk paint right now. And this is the other side of where I work. Has some of my acrylics. This is the ribbon that I have to find a way to organize it so that I can use it more efficiently. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great blessed week, and don't forget to be the Bible that somebody reads today. Bye.